So the Chrome browser has a new feature now that's going to allow you to actually group tabs together. So you can consolidate them into one space, collapse them, and even move them to their own window. It's going to be super useful for people that tend to have a lot of tabs open all the time. So let's take a look at what that's going to look like here. When I'm in the browser on the new tab, I can go to the top and you can see I've already opened a batch of different YouTube links, a batch of different pages on our dock, and then a handful of stuff that I had in my drive as well. So start with, say, our dock right in the middle. When I want to create a group, I can right click on that tab, get a few options like, new tabs or adding a new tab. Here I want to go to add tab to new group. So that's going to allow me to create a group right out of the gate here. I'm going to call that the Our Dock tab, and I'll make it red. So I can simply just click away now, and I can see I've got that little red outline around this Our Dock tab now. So I can go to this other guy, I can just drag him straight in, grab the next one, drag that in as well, and now all three of these have that red outline on them. And when I click the Our Dock button, I guess we'd call it, the label, it's going to collapse all of those down to one. And I notice, hey, look, I've got another one I haven't put in there yet. I can click and try and drag it, but when the group is collapsed like that, it doesn't let me just drop it in. So I have two options. I could open this up and drag it in like I did the first two, or I right click on it and say add tab to group. And it's going to list all my groups for me. So I can come over and choose the r.group. Group. It's going to open that back up, and now I've got all of those in there. So I collapse it. Do the same thing here again. I'm going to right click, and instead of adding it to the current group, I'll add it to a new group. Call that tube, and go with, I don't know, purple, just for fun. I can take these other ones and drop them in there, drop them in there, drop them in there, drop it in there, and then collapse it. Lastly, of course, I can come to this first one here and do it right off of here and say, you know what, I need a drive one. We'll make that orange. And then from there, I'm going to start dragging all these different little documents into that group. And collapse it. Oh, got a couple more. Right click, use that menu again, and I can just drop it into the drive group that way. So now I'm going to have all of these different tabs that I still had open available to me, but it means, of course, that all of those can be collapsed down now into a tiny little bar here. So pros and cons, I guess. You can have a lot more stuff open and consolidate it down so that it's easy to see exactly what you want to get to. But of course, it means that you've actually got a ton of stuff open still in your browser. Now, if I did decide I needed this, completely separate, maybe I've got another screen going or I just don't want to see it right now. Say this is distracting, I can right click that group and say, you know what, I want to move this to a whole new window. So I click that, and now, collapsed or not, well, I guess I can't collapse actually if it's the only group in the whole tab, but I can hit this button over here, move that down, and I can see that, hey, I've got a whole browser window now with just that group of tabs. Maybe I'll minimize that, and then I've just got my drive and dock stuff available to me. So, nice easy way to go ahead and take all of your tabs, group them into these little categories, and hopefully stay a little more organized and a little cleaner so you can find what you're actually looking for.